Hello everyone and welcome back to the X-Ring. Today we're going to take an in-depth look at the Desert Tech, the SRS M2, so stick around. 2,050 yards. All right, so taking a look at the Desert Tech, first off, I'd like to give a big shout out to Desert Tech. This was not sent to me for free or for evaluation. I actually contacted them, told them I was interested in purchasing one, and they were able to get the package together that I wanted. This has already been checked, it's been cleared, it is empty. Let's go ahead and do a full overview of this rifle. So when it comes to the Desert Tech SRS, it is a bullpup design, but for a bolt action rifle. So what you are looking at is a full 26-inch barrel here. It is in 6.5 Creedmoor, and you do have the ability to switch out barrels, which we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Starting at the back, you have this weird butt plate. We're gonna take a look at everything from butt to tip, and we'll just do a normal review. They've lengthened this butt pad, and it actually lends itself to be a little bit better because sometimes, you know, this actually is sitting too low, so I like the way they've done that. They've got spacers in here on the back so you can adjust your length of pull. And on the bottom here, they actually have these little fins. This is what enables you to slide the butt plate off, and that enables you to be able to get in, change the barrel conversions, change your length of pull, things like that. You also have a monopod here. And you don't have to screw it in and out like this. You can actually just pull straight down on it and then micro adjust it this way. So that is something that is integrated and already built into the rifle itself. While I don't really use monopods, it is something that's nice to have. And you do have a QD on both sides here for sling attachments. It does have a built-in cheek riser here on the left side. This is for a right-handed shooter. One of my biggest complaints getting started is this does not adjust high enough. You guys can see that I don't have this scope mounted up very, very high, and it doesn't give me a really good cheek weld, and it is in the full max position. So that's the first thing I'm going to ding it on. Now, this is a brand new rifle, but just getting it set up, you should always get behind that rifle, see how it fits, make sure everything's good with your eye relief and everything, and that's a big complaint. Now, this is kind of a rubberized textured surface, and so it actually works really well. It's very comfortable. I just wish it was a little higher. Now, as far as the magazines, this does have a magazine release on the left side. And if we press that, you're gonna see this 6-round magazine for this caliber, 6-round magazine, and it is a single stack for the 6.5 Creedmoor. I will tell you, it is a finger getter and it is a little bit of a pain in the butt to actually load. This is available in a 6 and in a 10-round variant, and it just drops straight in like that. It is not gonna be a drop-free design. I'm actually pressing the button right now and it's not dropping out. And then the bolt itself, while it does have that MRAD kind of clunky feel, it is nowhere as smooth as a Barrett MRAD. Now you also got to remember, you do have the quick change barrels, the different bolt heads and all that. And it's a little different having that bolt so far back because everything's been moved back further towards the shooter. Because remember, we are housing that 26-inch barrel in here. As far as the grip, you either like it or you like it because you're not going to be able to change this out. Moving up, you do have a really nice trigger in this. The trigger is not bad for a bullpup. I mean, most of you guys expect, you know, really cruddy triggers because of linkage and whatnot, but this actually breaks very, very crisp. It is adjustable from 2 to 7 pounds. So actually no complaints on the trigger. One of my biggest complaints is the safety. This safety is very, very hard to engage and disengage from the shooting position because it's not high enough. I don't know if there's some type of aftermarket, you know, switch available, but it doesn't stick out much, and I can see with wet or sweaty hands, this would actually be hard to deploy. Now, that is ambidextrous, and you can reach it from both sides. There isn't a lot of purchase to be able to switch this in and out. All right, coming on down to the handguard, this is a full-length aluminum handguard with a built-in ARCA and this ARCA is going to be something that fits on the Area 419, so it's got the ARCA lock on there. And you do have some M-lock at the 6 o'clock position. You also have some at 1:30 as well as 3 o'clock on both sides. And you also have QD points here and on the left side and on the end. So they've done a good job in giving you a lot of different options for being able to sling this with QDs. As far as the barrel itself, it is a fluted 26-inch barrel. It is threaded in 5/8-24, and I do have this topped off with a zero compromise optic. This is the 5-27 by 56, and it does have the zero compromise mount on it with the integrated level. So we are using good quality equipment here, but let's go ahead and get it on paper. I actually have some Hornady ELD, and it's going to be the 147. We'll just check it at 100 yards. I did zero it on paper at the house, but I haven't done any long-range shooting with it. And you do have the ability to switch this out to bigger calibers or other calibers. You can get it in like 308, 65 Creedmoor, 300 Win Mag, all of that. I did opt for the 338 Lapua Magnum, so I do have that. Now, a barrel change is super, super fast in this. All you have to do is loosen 4 screws here. And you only take them 1 rotation out. You don't have to unscrew them all the way out. And then on this side, you're going to rotate it to unlock, and then the barrel slides right out. It is a very, very quick barrel change. Now, if you're using the same bolt head, that's all you've got to do, and just tighten it back up. It does come with a supplied torque wrench. It's going to be 80 inch-pounds, I believe. But if you're changing bolt heads, like if I switch this to 338 Lapua, we are going to have to take the butt plate off, and we're going to have to change the bolt face out, but that only takes about an extra 30-40 seconds or so. So let's go ahead and get this thing on paper. Let's see how it does. And MSRP on this is going to be right at $6,000 the way you see it without the optic. So while it is very expensive, it is going to be in that price point with your Sako TRGs, your Accuracy Internationals, all of those. So it is a premium rifle because these were chosen as the sniper rifles for Ukraine, for their army. So they are being fielded and being used right now in Ukraine, and there's tons of videos, there's tons of photos of guys using these, and I can see it in an urban environment because it is very short. It only measures about 36 inches with this 26-inch barrel from butt plate to tip, and it's also very well balanced, and it's super lightweight. This rifle without an optic comes in at right at 9 pounds, and the way that it's balanced, I mean, I can literally, when can you do this with a 26-inch bolt gun? I mean, it is extremely balanced, and I'm not going to say you want to shoot it like this, but with that bullpup design, it lends itself to it. So without waiting any further, let's go ahead and get some rounds down range. All right, so we are using the Hornady, the 147s. These are not hand loads, these are factory loads. This is the magazine that is going to be compatible with your short action. So, you know, feeding the first round or so isn't bad. If you guys want to look right here, you've got to kind of press down on this and then push it back, which, like I said, it isn't bad because I'm used to it. But, yeah, you really start raking your finger across the top. And remember, this only holds 6 rounds, but when you get to about the 5th round, you guys can see how much that's dragging, trying to get that angle in there. But I think that's good enough. That's 5 rounds. What we'll do is we'll do a 5-shot group on paper. Cold bore, I have no idea. It's going to be close because I zeroed it at the house. And we'll do 5 shots, and hopefully it'll be sub-minute. You know, I've heard some great things with regards to accuracy on these, but we will see. So let's go ahead and get some ears on. And we'll take a look at the recoil. We can get pretty close on this. As far as the ergonomics, it's not bad at all. You see how ratchety that was, just getting that first round off that magazine? All right, so what we're gonna do is go for top left target. It'll be the one marked S. Here we go. Okay, so we are way high left. Like I said, I probably need to zero it. That's just in the black box to the right. I'm actually aiming dead center. I think that same hole. So we had just a little bit of a cold bore shift, but those two are touching, I believe. So we got one more. Okay, so if we omit that first round cold bore, which we probably could, we'll take a measurement off of that, or what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and load up 3 rounds. Let me make a correction on this optic, and we'll shoot 3 rounds at the next one. I hate 3-shot groups, but I don't have much ammo today for this in 6.5 Creedmoor. I brought more for the 338 Lapua. So it looks like we need to come down about 2/10. And I think we should be good. So let me go ahead and load up 3 rounds and we'll see how that looks on the next target over. All right, so I just took the time to load up 3 rounds. That's it. The rifle has not cooled or anything else. I did make that adjustment on the optic, and we'll go ahead and do 3 shots just to the right because I do want to be fair with this rifle. And we will be on target 1 to the right of that one. Here we go. Okay, just a little bit left. I left. And same hole. Okay, so not a bad group. I think it's going to be a sub MOA gun or rifle. You also have to keep in mind it is brand new. Oh, that was close. It is brand new, so like I said, at least I think that the accuracy's there. As far as my thoughts on how it shoots, I normally don't shoot an Accutac bipod. I think they're rather heavy, but putting that weight on here should help it. Now, I will tell you, because the rifle's so light and all the weight is to the rear, it jumps. It jumps quite a bit off the bipod. And that's me kind of loading it as best I can without the feet sliding forwards. So with that bullpup design, I am noticing that it's going to be hard to spot your misses or spot your impacts. I'm going to just assume a velocity of around 2,700 feet per second. Let me go ahead and get the spotting scope. Let's go ahead and see if we can dial it up to be able to hit some targets at, let's say, 700 yards or so. And if we can do that, then we'll move on to 338 Lapua. All right, so we're going to go straight from those, let's see, 8 shots at 100 yards. And I'm just going to take this out to, let's say, 700 because it's the furthest I can shoot out here. For those that, you know, most of you guys are going to know this, but some of you guys might not, so somebody might learn something. You know, one of the beauties of that 6.5 Creedmoor is whatever distance you're shooting, let's say I know I have targets at 700 yards, just subtract 2 from that distance, and that's going to be the approximate holdover or dial. So if I'm shooting at 700, I would just dial 5 mils. If I'm shooting at 500, I would dial about 3 mils. Now, while this isn't an exact science, it'll get you close, probably close enough. So I've loaded a couple rounds in here. I'm going to go ahead and get the spotter going. Spotter's running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial this to 5 mils because I know it's 700 yards. But we're also shooting on an angle, so I probably want to come down maybe a tenth. We'll call it 4.9. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't even run dope on this. I haven't even run any speed data on it. And what I'll do is I will go, there is a 10-inch square on the right side. We'll do that first just to see. And I'm at 4.9 mils. We are level. Here we go. Impact. And I got it on camera so you guys can see it. And it's literally that easy. Now let me go for a little smaller target. I think it's an 8-inch circle at 700. Here we go. Dead center. And I've got that on video. I am having to quickly move the rifle around because it is jumping so much. But the accuracy is there, guys. You can also see how the ejection pattern just kind of falls out of here. So on this one, let me do it one more time. We will go for a headshot on that man steel in the middle. Here we go. Dead center of the head, and let's rack this rather quickly. You see that? It just kind of trickles out. It doesn't come out really hard or anything. Let's try the 500 yard steel, and we'll just dial 3 mils and see if this little trick works. But I'm telling you guys, it actually it works pretty well. So there's 500 yards. So we'll come down to 3. Slight angle. So I'm going to come down a 10th at 2.9. Third IPSC. Here we go. And it's solid. So this Desert Tech is awesome, guys. Now, unfortunately, because of YouTube rules, I can't show barrel changes or any of that while it's on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this provided torque wrench, 80 inch-pounds from Desert Tech, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew these 4 screws. I'm just going to do 1 full rotation. Then I'm going to hit unlock and I'll pull the barrel out. All right, so I've got a stopwatch here. I'm not going to do this on camera per se, but this torque wrench will actually fit on the other side to unlock it as well. So we've got it on stopwatch, and what I'll do is I'll just pull the barrel, pretend we're going from, let's say, 6.5 Creedmoor to, let's say, 308. And I'm gonna have to edit this out, but here we go now.
You got a video of you and you only. You want me to get the gun or no?
It's fine, because I'll just edit this out because I can't show any of this. All right, so this is what a barrel would look like if you took it out of the action, and that was 34 seconds. So all I would have to do is take my 308 or whatever short action bolt face that fits this one, slide it back in and do the tightening. You know, just hit the lock on this side, close your bolt so you can get your headspace right and all of that. But that is the 6.5 Creedmoor barrel. So let me go ahead and grab the 338 barrel. We'll hold it up as a comparison. All right, so this is the 338 barrel. I have put a Thunder Beast brake on here for the Thunder Beast 338 Lapua. Unfortunately, I left it at home. You'll see that the barrel length is the same. It's got the deep scallop fluting, and then you also have the other bolt. It's not just a bolt face, it's the actual bolt mechanism, and that is what we've got to do to switch it over to 338 Lapua Magnum. All right, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that everything's clear. Once it's clear, you've got these little fins here on the bottom, okay? And then when you just pull this one fin, it is a toolless design, and then basically you just lift up on this, or push down on it, and that exposes the backside. Because this is a short action, we've got to take this plug out. Once you do that, you'll take your bolt out. We'll put the new one in for the 338 Lapua. We don't need the plug because it is a long action. And then we just take this, get it lined up, lift it. There you go, there's that. Now, as far as the barrel itself, we want to make sure that the feed ramp is at the bottom here. And then what we're going to do is just slide it in, close the bolt. The bolt is closed already. We're just not going to cry. All right, so guys, the barrel change is that quick on it. Now we're shooting a full length, full power 338 Lapua Magnum. I'm sure we're gonna have a zero shift. I did zero the turrets out. I'll shoot it 100 yards, check and see what kind of group we get with this monster. I wish I'd have brought the can with me, but it'll just be loud, and we'll see how it does. All right, so we've got the barrel conversion. I've got 338 Lapua Magnum. This is some nozzle ammunition. No thanks to anybody. I bought this on my own. This is 300 grainer. This is about, I don't know, $5-6 a round. And what we're going to do is, first thing I need to do is shoot the paper to see what that offset is like. I'm glad it has a brake on it, but like I said, I haven't shot this, so we're going to see what the recoil looks like and go from there. So let's, we've got everything zeroed out now. And here we go. Notice I have the safety glasses on, just in case. All right, so guys, I know I'm not showing you the paper. I'll get the camera up in just a second. Right now, I just need to check it to get it zeroed before I throw the camera up. Yeah, that's a little different. That is a little different. So we are 1.4 mils low and about 6/10 right. Okay, so that muzzle brake helped a lot, okay? It helped mitigate the recoil over just from what the 6.5 Creedmoor was shooting. So what we're gonna do is we'll do 3 shots on paper. It'll be about a $15 group for 3 shots. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the camera and then I'll shoot it out at 700 because that's all I have time for. Now I'm hoping I can get out to further distance. I'll see how the filming goes this weekend. Not sure if that's gonna be included. But remember, we're shooting for group. It's just trying to get it close, guys. That's pretty much it. But also keep in mind, these are all brand new barrels. They have not even sped up yet. They haven't even been, quote unquote, broken in or smoothed out. They just have no rounds on them. I'm trying to be fair to the rifle. It's got its quirks. It's very unique. But I think it's worth bringing you guys this footage. So what we're going to do is we'll go for target number 3. Target number 3. And here we go. Should be close anyway. Okay, yeah, so it's pretty darn close. And I don't know if it's going to like this nozzler. It's a 300 grain. Oh, that group is horrible. Yeah, so it doesn't like this nozzler too much, which is not uncommon with these big Magnum calibers being specific. So that's going to measure probably about 2 inches. I'll get a measurement for you on it. It's not, you see if you short stroke it, it doesn't come out like that. It doesn't punish you guys. I'm glad I have the brake on it, but it's not one that's kicking you in the face or anything, and it's very uncomfortable. I kind of figured with this ammunition, maybe that's what I would see as a little bit larger group. But let's go ahead and see if we can hit that man steel, and then we'll see if we can hit some of the smaller ones, and that should finish up this on the Desert Tech, the SRS M2. All right, so I have not shot it at any distance other than those 3 shots down there. I don't really know the data because I haven't run it at all. I don't have time for that. But if I was estimating, we're shooting a full-size IPSC at 700 yards. I'm going to hold somewhere around 4.5. So let's see what we get. 4.5 on the man steel. I'm just going to hold it on the water line, and here we go. Okay, so it was actually high and just a hair right. I was able to get back on that because we had enough distance. So if I was holding 4.5, I just need to hold about 4 mils and a little bit left. So you see that? I didn't really work it that fast. The good thing is they give you plenty of room in here to get fingers. So let's try it again. I'm going to hold 4 mils, favoring just a hair left. And here we go. Wow, it almost knocked that man steel over. So let's try that little 10-incher. Yeah, it's not liking that ejection. Let's try the 10-inch square. I'll hold 4 mils. We are level. Here we go. I have no idea. There's no way you're going to recover on that quick enough to be able to see it. So we'd have to review the footage. But you know what? I don't like to quit. I don't like to quit. Let me look at the footage from the camera and at least see if it was somewhat close. Oh man, it was so close. So what I saw on that, based on this Olin, is it was just a hair low, like literally like an inch low. So you held 4 on that? I held 4. So let me look on the reticle here, because I'd like to see what it does to the steel on camera. That was 4. I'm going to hold 4.2. Here we go. All right, so what we're going to do is, guys, we are at Clinton House, and we're going to shoot this out to a mile. I need to make sure that the dope is pretty much close. We're going to be shooting Barnes, but initially I'm just going to be shooting Nosler to make sure that we're good on for the data. I have added the Thunder Beast, the Ultra 338. This is in 338 Lapua. And so we will shoot it first. Let me go ahead and see if we can get close at 1,000. All right, here we go. Hopefully we get an impact on this one. Impact low, just a hair low and left. So not much. So what we'll do is we'll take this out to a mile. I have no idea what the dope's going to be because remember, this right here is not adjusted for this ammunition. So I'm going to have to come up quite a few mils. Let me go ahead and do some math. I'll be right back at you. See this? See how it hangs up, guys? So that's definitely going to have to go back to Desert Tech. Let me get a reading on the wind here. That's actually going to be about 0.8, I would think. We came down 2 mils. Here we go. Oh, I'm just off left side. Elevation is perfect. Okay. Just off left. So guys, I probably missed that by just a couple inches. Let me go ahead and get this camera started. All right. I think this one's going to be good. What do you guys think? Here we go. Elevation's perfect. Impact, and you guys can see the flashers. There's 4 flashers. Let's go ahead and do one more to follow up. We don't want luck here. And that one's off. I don't know exactly where, but this aggravates me more than anything. All right, guys, so I have something special in store for you, and that is shooting out at 2,050 yards. That's actually going to be right there. I'll zoom in on it so you guys can see it. Then that first berm that you see there with the 3 targets, that's 1,000 from there. So from here, it's 1290. And then right there by itself, that is going to be the 2,050 yard target. We're just going to come up about 6 mils. Uh-oh, can't do that. So I have run out of elevation at 2,050 yards, so I'm just going to hold about 6 mils in the reticle. We'll see what happens. I actually have Dustin here with Hyperfire. He's actually out here shooting today, and so he's going to give me a hand with spotting, and I'll do the same for him because at these distances, I mean, you'll have time to get back on it, but we want to check for wind calls and all that because weather's not the greatest. So let's try this. I've got 3 shots. Haven't taken a single shot. Got to remember to hold 6 mils or thereabouts. We don't know right now, so. All right, we are going hot, Dustin. You good to go?
I'm in.
All right, so 6 mils holding, and I'm gonna hold 1 mil left to start. Here we go. Let me check level, because level is extremely important. Well, you know what, I'm gonna go 1-2. Oh, okay. Wind was perfect. 1-2 is a perfect wind call, but I think we need to come up and hold about 7 mils. Dang, that freaking cartridge again. That wind call was spot on. I'm going to hold 7 mils, 1.2. Here we go, guys. Check level. Impact, second round. So you guys could have, I'm sure you guys saw it on the camera up here. Dustin can verify that one. That was truly second shots out of this Desert Tech shooting that 338 Lapua Magnum. Let's see. All right, so in conclusion, what are my thoughts on the Desert Tech, the SRS M2? I actually like it. I think it's a great rifle. It performed flawlessly with the 6.5 Creedmoor. However, we do have those issues with the 338 Lapua Magnum with it extracting rounds out of the actual ejection port. So I think it's something that just needs to be fixed on the extractor itself. I've already started a ticket for that. They said it could take up to 4 weeks. Hopefully I don't have to send the whole rifle in. Hopefully I can just send in the bolt and maybe the barrel or something like that. Now, at the back here, no complaints on any of this stuff. I've already mentioned the cheek riser. There's a couple other things I do want to mention. Just the fit and the finish right here where the bolt goes down. You know, this is a faceted bolt, you know, where they faceted the corners on it. But the problem is we actually have some scarring right here when it goes down. So not only on the plastic, but the actual aluminum itself, the chassis system, it actually hits that. So that's something that could have been, you know, taken care of a little bit more, either more fastening on the bolt itself or maybe a little bit more machining, or, you know, trying to change the injection mold at this point would be too late, but they need to fasten this a little bit more. I like the multi-caliber capabilities of this, and it being so short just makes it so maneuverable, so balanced. Like I said, I probably should have tried to shoot it like this, because I'm sure you actually can without any issues. And so having that short bullpup design with that full-length 26-inch barrel really does make a difference. I've already expressed my displeasure with the safety, other than not being able to engage it so quickly or disengage it so quickly is one of the other things that, you know, it's a negative on it, but it's not that bad. As far as the handguard, love the handguard. They did an outstanding job with this. I would love to have a handguard like this for an AR. Something with an Arca lock in it, with a Picatinny up top. This is just a really good design. I love it. I love the barrel changes on this, and it's an awesome rifle. You know, I was able to get you guys the footage of hitting it, you know, 2,050 yards, but we were also shooting a 338 Lapua Magnum. I mean, that's something that I actually did with the Sacco, the TRG, the 6.5 Creedmoor. It was back-to-back hits at 2050. So it's not something that's just unique to this. I wish the accuracy with factory ammo was just a little bit better. I don't doubt it's good quality barrels, and they are sub-minute guns, but we did have a pretty big cold bore shift, and, you know, otherwise, and I had tried a bunch of different ammo, folks. I actually tried some of the Winchester match. I tried some of the Sacco match, the TRG ammo. It seemed to like the Hornady the best, so you got to see what it actually liked the most. As far as the rifle, I think it has its place. You know, just placing it here on the back of the Ranger, these are all 26-inch barrels, folks. So back here, we actually have the Mark 22, the TRG 22, as well as the Desert Tech. And with all the 26-inch barrels, you can see what a huge difference that bullpup makes. And yeah, I know you might say, well, you can fold the other ones. Well, folding them doesn't allow you to be able to work the bolt. It secures the bolt in a downward position. This one would be ready to go in that configuration at 37 inches. So I hope you guys enjoyed that review. I know it was rather long, but if you want to get good content, sometimes you got to stick around to hear everything about it. So I hope you guys have a great week coming up on Christmas. So I hope everyone has a good time with their family, and you guys take care. Thank you for watching the channel. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit that subscribe button. It's very easy to do. Doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out. You guys take care. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.